Well, Luca, and I think to Steve's point about the way forward, we're continuing to rely upon PKI, the public key infrastructure, as the backbone for how we function in the organization to identify
when
things.
It works, use it, right?
We always come back to that.
Yeah.
And programmatically, that is really what we have to build on in the Department of Defense. Even though we've spent a lot of time expanding those capabilities, supporting additional use cases, programmatically it's just the PKI. So as a part of our roadmap, we're trying to identify where do we have these places where it's not a waiver, it's an approved use case where we're using a different type of a credential with a different assurance level that's appropriate for the sensitivity of that mission and the data being exchanged. But we have to figure out how to put that into the portfolio as something that we're going to sustain. I think that what we're finding when we use these alternative credentials, as long as you're in a single enclave, that makes a lot of sense. But when we talk about using alternate credentials that are registration based or something like FIDO, when you want to use that outside of your security boundary, you have to come back to some sort of federation mechanism, and we're still trying to identify how do we build that so that it is interoperable with all the mission partners that are so key to figuring out how to get the job done. I do think, I want to highlight within the PKI framework, DoD is continuing to modify and modernize the CAC card so that it's more PIV-like. We're going to finish that over the next 18 months. It takes that long to switch out a credential that's so broadly deployed with over 3 million users. Also, that same PKI program is how we're credentialing on mobile platforms. So DISA's purebred capability, which has got tens of thousands of deployed credentials, actively working. They're enhancing that to include a hardware attestation element that'll give it a higher assurance level so that it is truly a peer to the medium hardware PKI that we enjoy on the CAC.
That sounds fantastic.